Welcome back, Swifties. I'm a little bit late to the party with this one, but better late than never, right?
May I just take this moment to express my deep appreciation to all the songwriters in the room for their individual achievements and congratulate all the inductees here tonight. As a director, I am acutely aware of the power.
Oh, right. I didn't know he was a director, man. Oh,
and as much as
I didn't know. I thought he meant like a director of, like on the panel of like the Songwriters Hall of Fame. Of course, I know Steven Spielberg's a director. Would you say he is like a director? He's not a director that springs to mind for me for his use of music. I think like Scorsese, Tarantino. They'd be the most obvious ones, I guess. Francis Ford Coppola. Like straight away, I can imagine, I can remember the music from many films of theirs, But Spielberg, less so. And maybe I'm just a bit. Has anyone seen Disclosure Day yet? It's disappointing, man. Disappointing. So maybe I'm a little biased still because of that. But he's a fantastic, legendary director, no doubt about it. And producer, man. He's produced some fantastic stuff as well, hasn't he?
I believe that the stories we tell as filmmakers have the potential to entertain and engage. There is something undeniable about how songs imprint on our souls.
Yeah.
They leave a mark, and they provide a map. They provide a map to those moments in our lives that allow all of us to remember ourselves. And now more than ever, what you do matters deeply. Music will always be a uniting force, whether it's sung in our cars at the top of our lungs, or in houses of worship, or at football games, or on the streets of Minnesota.
Yeah, they're all houses of worship, right?
So I am honored to be here tonight to introduce the youngest female ever to be inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Fame. A woman who has no peer when it comes to shattering records as a writer, singer, and storyteller. Singular artist.
Yeah.
And a genuine phenomenon whose place in our culture rivals that of the composers of the American Songbook, Lennon and McCarthy of the 60s, and the singer-songwriters of the 1970s, like Carole King and Stevie Let's Go Nicks.
I wonder which...
Your namesake, James Taylor. Her iconic success is fueled by her innate gifts and the unwavering support of her family. Her fearless determination to stand up for all artists' rights is a reflection of her deep understanding of how best to use the meteoric fame that she has been navigating since she was just a teenager. And tonight, she is making history, and we get to witness yet another milestone as Taylor Swift continues to fulfill her destiny as the most successful female artist of not just our time, but of all time.
Yeah, she's not even like halfway through her career yet either, is she? Not even halfway through, man.
This evening's so special is that this introduction is a reflection of how her peers in the music industry view her remarkable gifts as a songwriter, but also her dedication to collaboration and her respect for her producers, co-writers, and other songwriters who have influenced her since she first picked up a 12-string guitar. Of course, most people start with a 6-string, isn't that right? But to no one's surprise, you were an overachiever at the age of 12. Everybody knows that. So when I was first called and Taylor first talked to me about coming here tonight, I admit I was flattered and I was completely honored to accept. But about 5 minutes after I hung up, my elation faded slightly Because, I mean, what could I possibly say about Taylor that has not already been said? Just thinking about how much true, false, and plain crazy stuff has been written about you boggles the mind.
Did she request him then
just out of
to do
curiosity,
this?
I asked AI if it could tell me how many words have been written about Taylor Swift. And you know what? It couldn't tell me. Then I asked it how many words have been written by Taylor Swift, and it couldn't tell me that either. And I just thought, wow, she is such a force that the depth of her achievements defy AI. And I should have known that something that starts with artificial wouldn't have a clue, because no algorithm can replace the soul of a true original who defies the status quo.
I think that's true, man. It's always going to gravitate towards the mean, isn't it? You know, towards the medium.
Refuses to be categorized. Taylor is a beacon for those who refuse to let others define their narrative.
Perhaps it will be a tool, you know, that we can use
and trust
in some ways.
With her memories, grudges, thoughts, secrets, fears, and dreams. Through her songs, she has taken billions of people by the hand and by the heart, and reaches across the footlights to them with a message that is rooted in community and infused with hope and relatability. Through her songs, she makes us believe that we are in this together, and together we can grow up, live, love, make mistakes, succeed, fail, and yet continue to believe in our own self-worth.
Yeah, keep going, man. Nice. I wonder what other... does anybody know...
With her billions of fans is impermeable and inspirational and encompassing, that it literally offers all of us a way to find true connection in a world that is clearly struggling with so many overwhelming challenges. Somehow Taylor knows us all too well. I love making movies. But I don't think...
I don't know. It's going onto the puns and the dad jokes. I do a lot of puns, I think, though. Right. What was I going to say or ask? Yeah, does anybody know when this Songwriters Hall of Fame started? I'm kind of like vaguely aware of it, I guess, or like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and stuff. And I might Google actually after a list of who's in it, you know, all the big hitters. I suppose we'll be in it. Oh man, there was something else. Let me take it back a tiny bit. There was something else I was thinking to say, but it's gone.
Through her songs, she makes us believe that we are in this together, and together.
Oh yeah, earlier on, like when he's saying, "Oh, now more than ever," you know, in these turbulent times. There's always turbulent times, isn't there, man? I feel like people have been saying that forever, you know. If you watch these kind of things, or people speaking in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, you know. There's always turbulent times, isn't it, you know?
We can grow up, live, love, make mistakes, succeed, fail, and yet continue to believe in our own self-worth. Her connection with her billions of fans is impermeable and inspirational and encompassing, that it literally offers all of us a way to find true connection in a world that is clearly struggling with so many overwhelming challenges. Somehow Taylor knows us all too well. I love making...
There's a groan there. It's fun.
Stadiums of multi-generational fans who want to recite the dialogue from Indiana Jones. That's just not going to happen. But when Taylor steps onto the stage, her words are sung back to her by a devoted audience that does not want to be anywhere else in the world in that moment. So tonight is a recognition that while she wrote "You Belong with Me," in the most profound way, we belong to her. So thank you, Taylor, for the gift of your stories, and for insisting on being an authentic voice in a world where the line between real and fake is increasingly blurred. You are our mirror ball. And tonight, to again steal from a great, great songwriter, Taylor, I just want you to know that this is me trying to tell everyone that in my book, you are evermore. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Songwriters.
How many did you mention?
Class of 2026 inductee, Taylor Swift.
Okay, on to the speech.
Hi. The quality of my speaking voice is it's the product of two things that I'm not sorry for. One is that I was lucky enough to go to a Knicks game last night. Screamed for 100% of it, and then I got home and I was like, you gotta stop screaming. You're screaming too much. You're screaming instead of talking. You're too excited. And I was like, okay, I'm not gonna scream tonight. And then I got to witness the amazing performances that I saw tonight. And then I just kept screaming. I just never stopped screaming. And so this is what you get. And again, I make no apologies for that. I've had a blast. Tonight has been amazing.
Good for her, man.
I want to begin by thanking the person who introduced and inducted me tonight. He thinks that this is the first time he has inducted me into something, but what he may not be taking into consideration is that through his decades of spellbinding storytelling, Steven Spielberg has unknowingly inducted me and countless others into his sacred club of expansive world building.
Yeah,
From the time he was
that's
a
a good
kid,
point.
every time he dreamed something up, he wanted to do anything humanly possible to be able to show it to you.
Yeah, I watched The Fabelmans, man. That was good.
Between different genres, action, sci-fi,
kind of autobiographical.
Drama to comedy, romance, fantasy to musical, and I watched him ace every single genre. And that kind of limitless creativity isn't just inspiring to burgeoning filmmakers. Because of examples like Steven's, I trusted my imagination, regardless of if it was taking me somewhere new and uncharted. And then every time I dreamed something up, I wanted to do everything humanly possible to be able to play it for you. A few months ago, when the Songwriters Hall of Fame asked me about my heroes and the creatives who shaped my storytelling, and who I might want to present this award to me.
So she got, I mean, this looks like it's going to be a pretty long speech, man. Has she got some points? Has she got a teleprompter, you know? Because, I mean, it's a lot to, it's one thing giving you like your Oscars speech or something, isn't it? You know, which is a couple of minutes. But to speak for this long, man, yeah, well, I guess she could have learned the whole thing if she'd written it, but,
to be able to play it for you. A few months ago, when the Songwriters Hall of Fame asked me about my heroes and the creatives who shaped my storytelling, and who I might want to present this award to me, I said Steven's name. And about an hour later, to my absolute delight, I ended up on the phone with him and his legendarily effervescent wife, Kate Capshaw, who is here tonight. And he was telling me that yes, absolutely, he would be thrilled to be here. And I was completely blown away because, I mean, the man has a massive film called Disclosure Day that's coming out at midnight tonight.
It was terrible, man. It was terrible. Yeah, it wasn't
And
terrible.
he's still gonna agree
It just
to show up
wasn't.
and do this for me if a
was
few hours
good.
before it comes out. Wouldn't that be impossible?
There's these
Hard
other
to
ones I don't
balance?
think.
Wouldn't that be too difficult scheduling-wise? I'm trying to give him an out. At which point, Kate said something I'll never forget. She said, "Good and true things are easy." And if I look back at my entire 23-year career in music, the ups and downs, the industry battles, the trials and tribulations, the tears and the cheers and the dogpiling of doubt, the criticisms, both fair and unfair, the complete loss of privacy, the world tours and the ego wars, and the twists of fate, the absolute magical chaos of this path that I chose when I was too young to remember it ever being a choice at all.
Yeah. I can relate to
Songwriting
that, man.
was the easiest thing I ever did.
It chooses you, I think,
Not because it didn't take effort,
if you're lucky.
definitely did.
You know, whatever it
Not
is you
that
want to
it
do.
wasn't frustrating at times, because it could be. And not that my songwriting didn't haunt me relentlessly until I cracked the perfect internal rhyme scheme for the third line of the second verse, to the point where my teachers called me out in class for not paying attention, because that definitely happened. But when I say that songwriting was the easiest part for me, I think what I mean is that it was instinctual.
Yeah.
No one taught me how to do it. I had to be taught how to entertain a crowd and learn choreography and be less annoying
Marketing,
and
all that
navigate the
jazz.
industry and
Image,
fiercely
image,
protect my own sanity. I had
I
to learn
guess.
all of that over time through difficult lessons and massive amounts of trial and error and chaos and calamity. But songwriting for me is pretty much the only thing I ever just naturally did. My parents tell me stories about driving home from taking me to see Disney movies. And in the theaters, and noticing I was singing the songs on the way home from the film in the car. But I was changing the lyrics and the melodies to be about my own life. As a little kid, I loved to sing, I loved to do children's theater performances, but everything came together when I learned to play guitar at 12. I wrote my first song after learning my first 3 chords. It felt easy to work incredibly hard at this. It felt easy to nurture something I loved so much, to watch calluses form on the tips of my tiny fingers, and to become a constant observer of the human condition. Because people's feelings, passions, and motivations have always fascinated me. And it was easy to choose songwriting over everything else in my life. But it couldn't have been.
That's very interesting about what kind of songwriter she is, I suppose, like an observer of the human condition. And I think maybe now, you know, that's the kind of songwriter I'm becoming, or I can feel it in the wind, you know, writing more externally. 'Cause I think most of my life, everything I've written has been from my point of view, I suppose. So I don't even know what kind of storyteller I am, really. And I guess, like, growing up, I became less and less interested as time went on with whatever the hell other people were doing, you know. And it's only really, I suppose, in the last 10 years getting into being more interested in acting and sort of learning to do that, doing a few short films and stuff, reading plays and things, listening to Taylor Swift, I suppose, you know. But I've become much more interested, I guess, in the human condition, whereas yeah, I wasn't, I guess, throughout all of my 20s. Very, I don't know, tunnel vision, narrow-minded, I guess, open-minded in other ways and stuff. But now, yeah, well, I guess you probably know if you've been watching a while. I'm interested in how I think and how I feel and why that is, you know, but also why that is for other people, and not just other people now, but but other cultures, you know, I'm just fascinated by culture and language and tradition and religion as well, I suppose, you know. And man, it's just such a rich and beautiful and terrifying world, isn't it, you know? And I just feel grateful, I guess, to be alive, you know what I mean? Because it's as painful as life can be, man. It's pretty fucking cool, isn't it?
Easy for my parents and my brother. I'm good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sacrifices
Our entire family
had to be
from
made, man.
Pennsylvania
Right?
to relocate to Nashville.
Thanks for watching. If you would like access to the full thing and loads of other extended content, Taylor Swift, One Direction, Miley Cyrus, videos of me playing my songs and others, link in description.